What's crackling, everybody? Welcome back once again to the definitive cereal tier list. Where each episode, we take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host, Tucker. In this episode, we're doing Elf on the Shelf hot cocoa cereal with marshmallows. Worth noting before we begin, this is a Kellogg cereal, and as of this moment, Kellogg's employees are still on strike, so probably don't pick this one up. Maybe, just look into what's going on there instead. And looking at past Elf on the Shelf cereals, I don't think you would even want to pick this up anyways, because the highest ranked one was an E for vanilla candy cane cookie with marshmallows. Wasn't good. And then we got an F for Elf on the Shelf sugar cookie cereal with marshmallows. It's one of two Fs was Elf on the Shelf. So let me tell you, my expectations for this, very low. Do not expect above an E. I guess there's a chance that I could be surprised, but I doubt it. Let's just open this up. See what's going on. Smells okay. Yeah, there's been chocolate cereals before that I've mentioned sort of having a hot chocolate, sort of chocolateness about it. This one isn't quite that. It's like a little off. I don't think these are like flavored marshmallows. I think the vanilla candy cane one is like peppermint marshmallow. Yeah, looks very similar to how the other ones were, just this time chocolate stars and these sad little marshmallows. Bringing a lot of negativity right now. Don't love that, but just kind of what the past has taught me. Although, Kellogg. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Initially, thought it was pretty fine. Not a great chocolate, but fine. Kind of less fine at the end of the bite. There, like a bit of the aftertaste was weird. But it's not. I don't think it's an F. So I guess that's a strong start. I think part of the weird aftertaste is coming from the piece itself having. It seems like an odd coating to it. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but that seems to be the extra taste I'm getting. And the piece itself, there's like almost a crunch to it, but not a ton. Very easy to get through. So that's that. Nothing super positive going on here, but I will say I was being a little too negative at the beginning. Just a little. All right, the milk is looking pretty chocolatey now, so let's give it a taste. Okay, it tastes much more just like chocolate milk than hot cocoa. But you might argue it's just cold hot cocoa, but there's a bit of a difference, I think. Yeah, just kind of tastes like chocolate milk. So if that's your thing, it's fine. I'm still kind of bummed that I had to do another Elf on the Shelf cereal, but it could have been worse. So, as you can tell, didn't love this. I think I'm definitely bringing in some bias against Elf on the Shelf just because of the last two. But even like trying to put a bit of that aside, this is like almost just fine. It's not a super standout chocolate. The piece has that like sort of weird aftertaste with the coating. when I got near the end there, some of the pieces sort of sogified in a weird way, and they might have been losing a bit of the chocolate flavor. I'm not 100% certain if that was happening or not. It seemed like it might be. Again, that could just be sort of a bias thing happening there. But I think this didn't nail a hot cocoa flavor, as well as some other stuff we've done that wasn't even trying to be hot cocoa. So what I'm going to do is give Elf on the Shelf hot cocoa cereal with marshmallows an E. I went back and forth between D and E on this one. I was worried I was giving it an E just because of that bias, and I just didn't want to give it a D. But looking at some of the other chocolate cereals that have gotten a D, like Chocolate Toast Crunch or Cocoa Ruse, I think I liked both of those like more than this. Maybe not a ton more, but more enough that it's okay for this to be at an E. Because like again, it had that sort of weird like sort of film on the piece and a bit of a weird aftertaste and solidified a little weird. So there are, enough complaints that I feel like, though it's on the line between meh and fine, I think it might, step over a bit. You could coin toss this and maybe I'd be okay with giving it a D, but I think in my heart, I just want to give it an E. And I'm also not looking forward to having more of this, which is weird because I feel like it's a chocolate cereal, and even not great chocolate cereals, I'd still be like, okay, cool, chocolate, but I'm not really feeling that with this. So I think that sort of is a bit more of an E description than a D. Though I will say I think this is the best of the Elf on the Shelf cereals. That might just be because it's chocolate, and I like chocolate more than I like a vanilla candy cane cookie. So I guess it's got that going for it. So it's still in the E with that other one. I just say it's sort of like a top or sort of a bottom E. But hey, they're on the same shelf. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. In the comments below, post your general thoughts. Let me know if you, for some reason, have had Elf on the Shelf hot cocoa cereal with marshmallows. You can let me know what you thought about it. If you've had all of them, like I've had the misfortune of doing, you can let me know your own sort of rankings on them as well. And like I said at the beginning, maybe go check out the Kellogg's workers strike, see what's going on there. So picking this up, I realize that is a little bit hypocritical since I have picked this up for this video. So if, that seems disingenuous for me to say anything about it, or, just upsets you a little, totally understandable. You can let me know if you want to. But until next time, stay delicious.